Welcome back to second class of week 2 of our free design UI UX design class organized by TeliyTech. So last time we talked about the introductions about UI UX design. So I hope you really learn a lot from that class. Today we are moving to design thinking process. So this is a process whereby you beginner as a UI designer beginner, they follow to complete a task or to build a project. So without waiting too much of our time, so let's proceed. So what is design thinking? Design thinking is a way to solve problems. That means if you remember vividly in our my last class on our, so we talk about um the skills that a product designer or UI designer must possesses. Like the person must be curious to solve or must be able to identify problems. So they must have a creative way to solve that kind of problems. So then let's now check this from our design thinking process. Design thinking is a way to solve problems. That means you must be a problem solver to be a UI designer. You listen to people, understand the kind of problems they are having. What are the things that is frustrating them? So you come up with the ideas in a creative way to solve the kind of problems. Once the problem has been solved, then you test the idea that you offer to the problems people are having and making things better again and again. That means you need to test with people. Once you test with them, they give you feedback based on the idea. Then if you if you later say that the problem has still yet not been solved, then you still keep going back to the problems and keep thinking about how this problem is going to be solved. So that's just about designing process as a way to solve problems by listening to users, understand their problem, their pain point. You come about the ideas to solve the problem. Then you test it with your user to make sure whether the problem has been solved or not. So what are the process? So the design thinking process is the approach UX designers take to find and test creative solutions to practical problems. So, and these are the steps a UX designer use. The first one is empathy. That means you need to understand and share the feelings of others. The second one is define. You must be able to define the goal of this, uh, define the goals of your user. That is the goal is in this is to clearly define which problems to focus on for the time being. Then after you already know the problem, then you ideate about how this problem can be solved. You come up with many ideas as you can for how to solve the problem. They are you already defined from the divine. Then you prototype the idea. The goal of this stage is to create a working model, not as a prototype of the idea to see how it will operate and to work out any major issues in the design before moving forward. Then the last stage is prototype. Finally, the UX designer tests the prototype with actual user to understand whether or not the solution meets users' need the way they expected. So these are the ideas. Then let's take it one by one. So quick review. The course introduction gives you an overview of design thinking process, but let's make sure it's refresh your mind. So these are the stages. These are the empathy, divine, hide it, prototype, and test. So let's pick it. What is empathy in design thinking process? Empathy means to research, then to create a user persona. So I think we talked something about user persona on our last class. So, but we're going to learn the first step of design thinking process, which is the empathy. What's empathy? Empathy means you listen to real users, the people that are having the problems. You ask them questions and you listen attentively to understand them. Then you'll be able to understand what are their needs, what are their goals, what are their pain points. They use research by researching. Not don't just guess. Don't think I think they will need this. No, you ask question You talk with the users. So by talking to them, interview them, asking them questions, real questions, you're able to understand the needs, the goals, and the pain point. So how to empathize or how to do research? The first thing is to talk with people by doing interviews, sending out survey questions. Then as you're asking them, maybe during interviews, you must observe them, shadow them. Based on the question you ask them, what are their feelings? How did they react when responding to your questions? So those are the things, to put in place. So let's proceed. What are the things that are going to help you out when doing research? The first one is personnel, user personnel. If you could remember, I said that in the first class, we take about user personnel. It's a psychographic of your users, be able to know what are their pain point, their goals. Then another thing, based on the responses we get from them, journey map. Um, journey map is like ways, like what are the tasks they are trying to achieve? What are the ways to achieve that kind of? What are the process they are going to follow? Let me put it that way. You travel, you wanted to travel. Maybe you are living in Lagos and you're trying to go into Abuja. What are the way process you're going to follow to reach Abuja from Lagos? First thing, you need to step out. Maybe you are going to book Uber to take you to garage where you're going to take a cab to Abuja. So the steps you stepping out from you taking your phone to order Uber, stepping out of your rooms when Uber has arrived, taking you from your home to what? To garage, to board a bus to Lagos. Those are the process steps. So the guides that you follow to what? To achieve a task. Then affinity diagram. So affinity diagram is based on the responses you've gotten. Like maybe you now take the questions, the similar questions that the way user you give you the response or the way they respond to your questions. Maybe you have 10 users that are respond to your questions, then they might have they might be explaining one thing in different way. Then you now what pack them together, which the two or three of those things are still saying same things. You don't want what um to be repeating those things. So you might them together to be one. So that's about the affinity program. So the second stage is the define. So what does it work for? It focuses on the main problem. It makes it clear and for you to be specific about the exact problem that they're having. So one of the ways to what to solve or to be able to to divine your problem is using how might we question. So let's proceed. Um, so let's talk about divine. The divine statement is turning all your research into a clear problem statement. All your what research, you're turning into a problem statement. You see, but what exactly is the user problems? How can we describe it clearly? What is your user problem? Based on the responses you got, then you'll be able to what? To divine the kind of problem they're having. So why this is important? This is the divine stage is important because if you don't know the real problem, we might design the wrong solution to your users. So you knowing the exact problem, the root problem they're having, so you'll be able to what to ideate the exact solutions to the problem they're having. So first thing to get in divine stage means turning all your research into a clear problem statement. That's the first thing about divine. The second thing, in simple words, in simple words, what exactly is that problem, and how can we describe it clearly? Like you already know the user's problem. How can you define it clearly? Your user's problem. How can you define it clearly? For you to be what to offer the best solution to the problem they're having. Right? why this is important? It's important because if you don't know the real problem, we might design the wrong solution. So I think I'm repeating that. So now this is a case study, an example. So the problem the user have here, they get frustrated when food delivery apps take too long or don't show accurate tracking. So the problem sentence can be busy people need a fast and reliable way to order food and track delivery on real time because they don't want to waste time waiting. So that's how you craft your problem statement. Why? Because you were able to know the exact problem that your users have, which is they were frustrated when they deliver food. When they deliver the food to them at a very longer time, or they wasn't able to track their order, what does it reach? So maybe they have been following the order, so that might see what help them to what to be able to track the food from where it is. They'll be able to know the problem they are getting. But once you do not have a tracker, so they will now create a problem system whereby busy people need a fast and reliable way to order food and track delivery in real time because they don't want to waste time waiting. Let's proceed. Then, what is problem statement? A problem statement is a short sentence that explains who has the problem, what the problem is, why it matters. That is, who are the people that are having the problem, which are the users. So, what kind of problem are they having? So, the words, the problem they get frustrated because the food take too long before it gets to the user. So, why does it matter? So, that's about problem statement. So, example, like from user perspective, I'm a student who wants to order food quickly, but I get frustrated because the app doesn't show accurate delivery time. From research, students and young professionals need a reliable food delivery app because they don't have time to cook and don't like delays. So then how might we use using the four W's? The students, what are the people? Oh, the students. They struggle to get food quickly. What? When they are in school or at home. Then because current app doesn't show reliable delivery time. That's the reason. The first one is you say um students, which is the user who student struggle to what are they struggling with? They struggle to get food quickly. Where? When they are in school or at home. Why? Because current app doesn't show reliable delivery times. You see it. Let's take it from the user's perspective. I'm a student who wants to order food quickly. So, but I get frustrated because the app doesn't show accurate delivery. This is the problem the user having. Then we wanted to use this further reviews to what to create a problem statement. So then who is the person that is having problem here? The student. Hmm? What are they struggling with? They struggle to get food quickly. Where were they? When they are in school or why? Because current app doesn't show reliable delivery time. So these are the things, these are the ways to be able to create your problem statement. Let's proceed. So why is the design stage important? Number one, it keeps the design focused on the real problem. Secondly, it prevents us from building unnecessary features on the app. So thirdly, it makes it easy to explain to others. So that's that about. So method of divine the problem. Method to divine the problem. The first one is who, what, where, and why. That's what I just explained all the time. So the four W's is who is feeding the problem. The last time, if you see the case study that I just showed you, what are the people, who's the person facing problem to the student? What kind of problem are they facing? The what? The problem they are facing is that the food, they struggle to get food quickly. So that's the problem. So where does the problem? Maybe anytime they are at home or they are in school. Why? Because they did not have a tracking order. So then another thing is the five whys. For you to be able to get to root cause of the problem. I keep asking why until you reach the root of the problem. So example, why user frustrated? Delivery is late. Okay, why is the delivery late? Because restaurant took longer time to confirm the ordering. I mean the order. So why did researcher take long? They didn't see the order immediately. Why didn't they see it immediately? Because the system didn't notify them quickly. So by asking this question, by keeping ask the question, we go to the roots of the problem. The app doesn't notify restaurant instantly. So these are the ways to be able to get um the problem solved. To get to the root of the problem. Let's proceed. So then let's go to ideation, which is the third stage of the scientific process. Addition. After we know our users' empathy and we've written their problem, the next step is what? Ideation. Addition is like you already know the problem. Then you now be thinking a creative way to solve the problems. So it means creating as many ideas as possible to solve the problem. We don't judge or worry if an idea is good or bad yet. But the goal is to think wide and be creative to provide solution to the problem the user are having. So let's put this uh as a case study, the study with the app. Problem statement. The student often get distracted and struggle to stay consistent with study routines. So possible ideas to that is Pomodoro timer with break, whereby you work for like 25 minutes. Yeah, I think you have like 5 minute or 10 minute break. Sit back, have a break, third, have like a longer break, something like that. So then you have study partner ask you like um integrating quizzes. So it's helps you to stay focused more, then to show whether you really fully understand the 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 your story, maybe any book or anything that you are reading. So then by working as a group, sometimes then by having something like gamification, whereby as you keep reading, so you keep attempting the quiz, then your reward keeps coming up. By that means on each task you accomplish, then you get a reward. Just like they might give you a play, whereby they tell you to reach up to this point. If you get to up to the point, then you move to the next stage, something like that. So then if you only use the first idea that come to mind to solve the problem, we miss better solution. Because addition helps us create a pool of option, but we have a lot of options on the table. Then we now take your time to uh, go deep one by one on those options before you decide which one work best. That's going to be a solution to the problem our user having. So why is the ideation important? So it's important because we're able to decide or to have a decision on what work best for the app. So then TeliyTech add a timer to body app. That would be too big. But wider audition like introduction of quizzes, group study rooms, and gamification app. So the more the option, the more innovative solution it's gonna be. So how to prepare for audition? To be creative, you need the right space and mindset. We make additions fun and safe. So tips. What is it? It breaks the fear of being judged. Like um you don't want to be judged. So, but it gives you more room to think deep. So you'll be able to have a lot of solutions to the problems. First thing, sit in a circle like nothing rose. Then, second, start getting answers. Now, start offer answers to the problems. There's no wrong answers. They tell use sticky note of Figma or Fig Jam to pen down those answers that is coming to your head. Then start with actually give the silliest way to order food. The second answers could be robot chef, it can be drone, it can be delivery, drone delivery, it can be teleporter, it can be anything. Just as those ideas come into your mind, keep penning uh, penning it down, and then keep thinking about it till you want to get to the root or the best solution to the problem. So then use how might be questions. So the problem system sounds heavy, but if you turn it to a question, it becomes fun to solve. That's where might be comes in. Like you already know a problem. Just like um the students that they didn't have more focus. You know, I think how might we make a app that help the student to focus? So you say how might we, then you now keep having a lot of ideas coming to mind. Okay, how might we? Okay, let's use this solution. How might we use solve this problem? Let's use this way to solve the kind of problems. I think so. Example, problem setting. Students lose focus. Problem. Students lose focus after 10 minutes. How might we keep students engaged for longer time? So then you using how might we to solve the problem, then you keep having a lot of ideas, ways to what to solve the kind of problems. So let's proceed. So I think that's that. We're going to stop there on the stage three. So stage four is about prototyping, whereby we're going to talk about the idea that we're already getting, how we return it into a sketch, from sketch to final design, then to functionable. Then the last is test. How do we test uh the idea? So let's look at this. Let's go check up Behance. This one of the problem that was solved. So okay, let's use this case study. This is this case study of optical mobile application for eyeglasses, shopping and prescription. So this is telling you the app name is optical. What is optical? Is a mobile app for eyeglasses shopping and prescription. So this is telling you that these are the software, the tools they use. They use Figma, they use Google Form, and we use Excel by this person that design the product. So the project overview. So optical is a mobile app design. So this was explained. The problem is that many users struggle. You see that? So the problem is that many users struggle when buying glasses online due to inability to virtually try and frame this explanation was explained. Then after you've already list those problems, then how might we um have how might we help user to have a good understanding of lens type. So how might we help our users the same process of buying glass, something like that. So the solution Optical provide a stream so intuitive experience that allows users to what virtually try on glasses. Here they say inability to virtually try on frames. Then they come about the solution. They select the right size with the feature. So everything was then design the new problem. It is the process the solution follow to what to solve the problem, which I just said the empathize. So during define stage, ideate, how I brainstorm, the sorting the user flow, design, they create a wireframe, the visual design, then prototype, then they test it with the user. So the goal of the project. So it was done here. The timeline the person took before he could complete it took the person 12 weeks. Then um empathize. The empathy stage, then the research is the question. The goal of research was to understand how user currently choose. So this is the survey question. Are you confident buying glasses without trying them on? So these are the questions sent out. So for them to be able to to have the best solution. This is the define. Yeah, this the user persona that was created based on the people that the person interview. As you can see, the goals, the pain point, the details about the person, then the pain points, the needs of then the motivate to motivate the person. So this is the empathy map. So this is what they say, and I don't know my face shape, so things what they think, who does and feel. Then the informative architecture, I mean the site map of the product this person designed for. Then can you see the flow to complete the task? Then how they were able to want to pick up the design style guide, and then these are the products that was designed. These are the process you're going to follow. So then let's check the second one. So okay, I think because of our time, I didn't want us to this going to be too much. So um let's come back. So then assignment. Here is the assignment for our next class. So after you forge this, so the assignment was to design or sketch on paper how the improved screen will look from week one assignment. So if you notice on the assignment I gave to you, I said something about your favorite app. Let me check it here. Like one thing you will improve in the app and why. So based on this, it's the thing you will improve and why. Then you can now sketch it on paper. How the app screen will look like. I want you to sketch on paper using pen and paper to do that. So can use pen and paper to do that. So that's the assignment. So then in our next class, we're going to be introduced to all these tools, the Figma. These are the tools we're going to use for the class. Then we're going to start to be picking the tools one by one. This is the Figma to design and prototype, FigJam for brainstorming and flow, the Google form to sign out the survey questions, the Zoom or meeting to maybe you want to use it for interview. So the another assignment to do is what is to create an account with Figma. So then in our next class, we're starting from there. Thank you for your time as you watch this. Kindly don't forget to what to do your assignments. I'll be expecting your assignments. So then I will be expecting your questions with our live session this weekend. Thank you and happy um listening and happy watching or whatsoever. Thank you. We meet in our live class and the next meeting. Bye.